Hey, so today I want to critique Simon Sinek's TED Talk. It's super popular. It has almost more than 20 million views in the last 14 years. And it's, I think, a great talk for sales and for how to think in terms of marketing and how to create products that people would like, how to advertise products that people would like to buy. But the title of this TED Talk is How Great Leaders Inspire Action. And to be honest, I don't think it reflects well what this TED Talk is about. Let's start with the first clip I prepared. I separated it into multiple clips and I will talk as we go. So I chosen clips that will allow to show the nuance that I think is lacking in his talk. And obviously he doesn't know who am I. So if you're watching it, Mr. Simon, hello. I don't mean to critique it in a harmful way and bad way. I hope to just bring some nuance that I think is lacking and without which some managers and leaders may not operate or may create some harmful actions for their teams, right? Because the title, I think, is a little bit misleading. It, in my opinion, shouldn't be how great leaders inspire action, but how great leaders sell products or how great companies sell products. Anyway, let's start with the first part.
Or better, how do you explain when others are able to achieve things that seem to defy all of the assumptions? For example, why is Apple so innovative? Year after year after year after year, they're more innovative than all their competition. And yet they're just a computer company. They're just like everyone else. They have the same access to the same talent, the same agencies, the same consultants, the same media. Then why is it that they seem to have something different? Or better?
So this talk is from 2010, and we can't say that the company that released iPhone 2 years earlier and changed the whole industry is, a regular company with the same talent and the same people. They are not. And they're, they've been almost bankrupt before Steve Jobs came back and took over with Tim Cook. And I don't think that their exceptional results are because they are as every other company. I think it was related to great leadership at the top, right? Including Steve Jobs, including Tim Cook, including Steve Ive. All of them contributed and changed how Apple operates and moves and innovates. And it's this mix of leadership and management that moved them forward. And I don't think only the way they sell product, which, is the next part. And
I call it the golden circle.
so here he discusses a golden circle thing. So the way that great leaders think in order to achieve great results. And he gave multiple examples, not only Apple, but let's see what golden circle is about.
Why, how, what? This little idea explains why some organizations and some leaders are able to inspire where others aren't.
So you see, it's why, how, what, right? And his point is that people, usually think about the product first, so what, and not about why and your intrinsic motivation of creating something.
Define the terms really quickly. Every single person, every single organization on the planet knows what they do 100%. Some know how they do it, whether you call it your differentiating value proposition or your proprietary process or your USP. But very, very few people or organizations know why they do what they do. And by why, I don't mean to make a profit. That's a result. It's always a result. By why, I mean what's your purpose? What's your cause? What's your belief?
Right? So, as I said, like, what's your intrinsic motivation? What's your cause? What's your belief in order to accomplish these great results? And it sounds great, right? A lot of things are coming from this intrinsic motivation. It's not like I do this channel because of millions that I'm getting back from it, because I get nothing in terms of monetary value, right? But I do it because I have some internal need to share knowledge or whatever. And I think this is what he's referring to, that first we need to understand our why. And that, as I said, he believes that most companies are working from the outside to the inside. So they first tell you what we've built and how we've built it, and then we end with why, right? And this is where he gives Apple as an example for how it would sound if they would do the marketing in a bad way, and then how it would sound if they would do marketing in a good way. So let's see the bad way first.
If Apple were like everyone else, a marketing message from them might sound like this: we make great computers. They're beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. Want to buy one? If Apple were like...
So, it's like, I believe that Simon Sinek is a great speaker, right? And when he wants to present something as less exciting and making it you as a receiver of his information to think that it's blah, he can achieve it, right? You can see how well he presents something, how well he speaks. And here, the problem I have with this is that Apple basically also do adverts like this for iPhone, right? This is new iPhone 11. And this is amazing because this is the fastest iPhone we've ever built. And it's shiny and have 48 megapixels camera. And now with Apple Intelligence, you can do this and that, right? They don't always push their why we are doing this, because sometimes the why is obvious. But let's see how the good advert would look like from Apple and how it looked in their iconic advert back in the day.
Here's how Apple actually communicates. Everything we do, we believe in challenging the status quo. We believe in thinking differently. The way we challenge the status quo is by making our products beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. We just happen to make great computers. Want to buy one? Totally different, right? You're ready to buy a computer from me.
Yeah, so obviously it's better presented, but both can sell you a computer. The difference is that one is iconic and the whole thing different idea, and how genius it was and still is to create this ideology behind why. I completely agree with it. But I don't think it's how great leaders inspire action, it's how great salesmen sales product. And this is a completely different thing, because you can't build on why only to create highly functioning teams, right? I talked multiple times about job characteristic theory, and one of the points there is job significance, which basically relates to this theory explains what makes a place we work in a good place to work. And the task significance means that the task, we understand how this task contributes to the bigger picture, right? This is a little bit it, but it's not the only thing that's necessary to create great teams and be a great leader. And this part, which I will play now, I think shows how manipulative it is, and how it's built for sales, and not always the best sales, because it can be taken to the extreme. But yeah, let's listen and then I'll talk.
None of what I'm telling you is my opinion. It's all grounded in the tenets of biology, not psychology, biology. If you look at a cross-section of the human brain looking from the top down, what you see is the human brain is actually broken into three major components that correlate perfectly with the golden circle. None of what...
Right, and he's referring to our, core and our instincts, and then our part of brain which is responsible for logical thinking and keeping our Neanderthals within us to not explode and start, attacking people, and not only act on instincts, but be able to analyze stuff, think about them, introspect, and then act, right? And what he's referring to is that this why component, this most important, crucial thing that all the great leaders think through, like that all makes that it's a core of thinking for all the great leaders, is this instinct, right? And that's true. Like a lot of sales tactics and are building on top of it. When you go, we buy because of our emotions, not because of our thinking. When we see new shoes or a new something, it's usually because of emotions, right? And this, I think, what he refers to through why, that it's emotions, and if we will target emotions, then people will react. And this is completely true. I don't think it's always fair, because some companies are building on fear as a core emotion, and fear is making you to buy something. I don't think that's fair, right? I don't think people should buy something because of fake fear that was created in their mind because of the biology. Like, obviously, think different is not that. It's not a scam. It's not something to take advantage of you in a bad way, right? But it can be taken to the extreme. And all of this urgency building, like we have only 5 spots left, or this promotion only applies now, just click here, or whatever, right? It's all built on biology, which is also psychology, but yeah, the difference here is sketchy, I would say, because why have to interact with our instinct, and instincts, because these are based on emotions, it's hard to control them if they are triggered correctly. And because of that, I don't really think that this is, that useful to, how it's called, inspire action, right? I think this is how to make someone buy something you sell. I don't think it applies to most managers, right? You have to think about why, and you have to understand why a company is doing something. Why do we want to build this? Why is it important? That's cool. That's completely true. Why? But these are why most companies have objectives, right? To understand the why, how it contributes to the bigger picture. But there are so many factors to build on it that I think it's missing from this, right? Because management and leadership is a long-term game, right? We have people that we manage for multiple years. And if you can't build a good, healthy relationship building on this emotions and instincts, right? Because we manage smart people and they are experts in their field, usually better than we are. And what we have to do, right, is to have this relationship built on trust and not only on emotions, because you can't build on this for 3 years. You can do it for, a big movement, a purchasing decision. That's why it's one click only, right? And not super long to shorten that path. But you can't build teams like this because it won't work. And I think, you know, I did this video to talk about this, to show more nuance and more context, which I think is missing from the video. But as I said, it's a great thing to understand how companies are building their marketing campaigns to sell us stuff. And I would highly recommend watching it. I will link the full video in my description. So check it out, and I will see you next time.